This man is Rodney Alcala, a convicted rapist and serial killer who terrorized California in the late 1970s. Known as the dating game killer, Alcala appeared on the popular television show in the midst of his brutal murder spree. Disclaimer: the content of this video is based on various sources. Viewer discretion is advised, as the video may contain graphic and disturbing content. But it's not just his appearance on a game show that makes Alcala stand out. His crimes were marked by an exceptional level of cruelty, as he would strangle his victims until they lost consciousness, then revive them, only to repeat the process several times before finally taking their lives. It's no wonder prosecutors describe Alcala as someone who toyed with his victims. But the horrors don't end there. Investigators have discovered hundreds of photos taken by Alcala featuring women and teenage boys, leading to speculation that he could be responsible for many more murders in California. He's even a suspect in at least 2 unsolved murders in New York. The authorities have compared Alcala to infamous serial killer Ted Bundy, and as evidence continues to mount, many fear that he could go down in history as one of the most prolific killers of all time. In 1968, Alcala's reign of terror began when he was caught luring an 8-year-old girl, Tali Shapiro, into his Hollywood apartment. The girl was found raped and beaten with a steel bar, but Alcala managed to escape the police. He fled to the East Coast and enrolled in NYU Film School using the name John Berger. During the summer months, he even obtained a job as a counselor at a New Hampshire arts camp for children, using a different alias, John Berger. Alcala's FBI wanted poster was later noticed by 2 campers who notified camp directors in 1971, leading to his arrest and extradition back to California. However, Tali Shapiro's parents had already relocated their family to Mexico, making it impossible for her to testify at Alcala's trial. Prosecutors were forced to allow Alcala to plead guilty to a lesser charge, unable to convict him of rape and attempted murder without their main witness. In 1974, Alcala was released on parole after serving only 34 months under the indeterminate sentencing program, which allowed offenders to be released as soon as they showed signs of rehabilitation. The parole board's decision would prove to be catastrophic, as Alcala went on to commit a string of heinous murders, terrorizing innocent victims for years to come. In less than 2 months after his release, Alcala was arrested again for parole violation and giving marijuana to a 13-year-old girl who claimed to have been kidnapped. But guess what? He was paroled again after serving just 2 years of an indeterminate sentence. And even after all that, in 1977, the Los Angeles Times, in the midst of covering the Hillside Strangler murders, hired Alcala as a typesetter despite his criminal record and official registration as a sex offender. During this period, Alcala also conned many young women into believing he was a professional fashion photographer and photographed them for his portfolio. Then, on June 20, 1979, Robin Samso, a 12-year-old girl from Huntington Beach, California, disappeared somewhere between the beach and her ballet class. Her decomposing body was found 12 days later in the foothills of Los Angeles. Police found her earrings in a Seattle locker rented by Alcala. He was tried, convicted, and sentenced to death in 1980 for Samso's murder, but the California Supreme Court overturned his conviction. The Orange County Superior Court trial judge had allowed the jury to hear about the Tali Shapiro case and Alcala's other rape and kidnapping convictions, which was deemed unfair. Alcala's conviction in 1986 for the murder of Robin Samso was overturned by the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, but investigators were not deterred. In 2003, they uncovered DNA evidence linking him to the rape murder of 2 women in Los Angeles, and the discovery of earrings in his storage locker led to his indictment for the murders of 4 additional women. Jill Barcombe, Georgia Wickstead, Charlotte Lamb, and Jill Parento were all brutally killed by Alcala, adding to the list of victims he left in his wake. Despite his efforts to evade justice, he was finally held accountable for his heinous crimes. Join us as we explore the twisted mind of Rodney Alcala and try to make sense of the senseless. In 2003, prosecutors wanted to merge the Samso case with the 4 other victims that Alcala was accused of murdering. Alcala did not agree with the motion, and it took until 2006 for the California Supreme Court to rule in favor of the prosecution. Alcala went to trial again in 2009, this time defending himself. He told jurors that he was at Knott's Berry Farm when Samso was abducted but provided no defense for the other 4 cases. Alcala played a part of Arlo Guthrie's Alice's Restaurant in his closing argument, where the protagonist discusses killing a psychiatrist. The jury found him guilty on all 5 counts. During the sentencing phase of the trial, Tali Shapiro, Alcala's first known victim, appeared as a surprise witness. In March 2010, Alcala was sentenced to death for the 3rd time. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the darkest depths of the criminal world. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, so don't forget to leave a comment and let us know what you think. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to follow us on social media for even more content and updates.